Actually, before we intro the show, I just want to say something really quick. Um, Fellas, let's have a moment. Ladies, close your ears, close your eyes, look to the left, look to the right, put your muffins on or something. Fellas, I was in a conversation where I realized a couple different things. Shit you know, but like shit we don't talk about. And I think we should talk about it more. Um, you're dating a woman, you one night standing a woman, whatever you're doing with the woman, you're married to a woman, whatever, and having sex, enjoying it, whatever, and it's feeling good for whatever reason, you drunk, you high, or you just don't want to use it no more, you take the rubber off. Um, I want to say something here so that we can, as men, have a real talk. Because I've done it myself. It's never okay to take the rubber off unless you have permission from the woman. Do you hear what I'm saying? I don't care if you take it off and she says, "Oh my God, I've been waiting for you to do it," or she says, "I was just about to ask you to do that," or she says, "I love you. I'm so happy you finally did it." That still don't matter. It is never okay to do it unless you have the conversation prior to and give her the opportunity to say, "I'm so happy you did it," or give her the opportunity to say, "No, don't do it." Now, I've done it. Um, Not maliciously, but just with my situation, just being fucking fucked up, drunk, and not thinking. But I've talked to a lot of men who said they've done it for some similar reasons, some other reasons, and to women who've done it. And I wanted to have that conversation because I want to make sure that we discuss this, and it could be a teachable moment as opposed to a oops kind of moment. It could be something with some good shit come out of it. So you should have that conversation, fellas. Like for real. I don't care. Oh, she was fine with it. It does not matter. Does not matter. Let her tell you up front she fine with it.
The long and short of it is you need to respect your partner enough to give them that choice to be that much more intimate with you, and really there's no excuse for it. Looking back on my own experience personally, that hasn't been something that I have paid attention to the way I should, but it's something that in protecting our women we need to be more aware of, because a big part of protecting them is respecting them as well, and respecting their wishes,
Absolutely.
simply put.
So, fellas, we don't get to have these man-to-man talks often because we all be hard in our own world and we ain't talking that nigga about it. Nah, fuck that. Today, we broke that shit, broke that wall down. Fellas, talk to your woman before you make any kind of decision like that. And ladies, talk to your man before you make any kind of decision like that. And having said that, kick
Yeah,
back
yeah, yeah.
Bears! JB, what's the name of the
Nigga,
podcast?
it's a pod named Kickback. A pod named Kickback. It's like a Tribe Called Quest.
You say the whole thing. Welcome to a pod named Kickback, also known as the Black CNN, and the revolution will be televised. I'm No Breaks New, the righteous ratchet. If you throw it, I catch it. If you got it, I match it. Every smug day, we right back at it. I am the Black Savage.
What up, what up, what up, y'all? Is JB Frank. I'm that gangster geek coming at you every goddamn Monday. Representing NWA Nerds with Attitude. I want to remind you guys to check out our merch line, new fashion statements, where
Boom.
you get your Nerd with Attitude gear,
Boom.
your Righteous Ratchet gear,
Boom.
your pod name Kickback gear,
Boom.
mask, mugs, sweatshirts, kids line. It's all there for
The
you.
kids line is there.
You can even join us virtually on the sofa. We got a shirt for that too.
Boom.
So check that out, y'all.
Hell yeah. We got a great show for y'all. We about to get right into it with our kickback fact of the week. If you don't know, we do have a Patreon. And on Patreon, you get bonus episodes. The last couple of weeks, we've been doing mini episodes where you get stripper stories.
Yeah.
You get sports. And we discussed the debate earlier. So you get advanced shit too. And JB, I'm about to throw this out there. You got kicker level that's $2,
Yeah.
backer level that's $4, kickbacker levels that's $7. And when you want that kickbacker level, we're gonna buy you something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Once you
yeah.
do a 6-month subscription, you involved for 6 months, we got a gift for you.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little something that Debbie was telling you we have for you.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't wanting to buy it. Also, if you're on a Patreon, you get our discount code 20% off of all merchandise. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that that's out the way, now that we paid a few bills, literally, thank you for that, Patreon.
What up, RJ? What up, BJ? Keep a cool mind, pimp. Let's do our kickback fact of the week, JB.
Let's get into it, new.
So the kickback fact of the week. This was whoa, that looked like an ass. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
what the hell was that?
yeah.
The kickback fact of the week, that does look like an ass. I'm not lying.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't want to see it no
looks
more.
like something soft and glorious. Laying down.
So why do we get, this is our kickback fact of the week. Why do we get goosebumps? This physiological reaction, small muscles attached to individual body hairs contract, which leads the hair to stand on end. We inherited this ability from our ancestors in part as a way for our then coat of body hair to capture air beneath it and in that way retain heat. But as George A. Bubenick, a psychologist and professor of zoology at the University of Guelph, is that Guelph? University of Guelph? Guelph, okay, Guelph, in Ontario, Canada, explained to Scientific American, it also caused our ancestors to appear bigger than they were, helping to ward off predators when they were frightened or on the defense. With modern humans having less body hair, goosebumps no longer cause us to look that much more intimidating. So I get it there, but sometimes you get goosebumps when something good happened. Now, I wouldn't want to be intimidating when I got goosebumps because we're nominated for an award, but I get it when it's on the defense. Did you know that?
And yeah, I actually did, because the same behavior is seen in a lot of animals. Any of you who are dog owners, whenever another dog gets around your dog, the rougher their neck, like they call it the dog's back going up, like the rougher their, like all the hairs on their back, like almost in a straight line, stand on end. And it's the same thing. Ironically, though, in our more evolved society, a lot of these sort of adrenal responses that were biological protection responses have now become a part of like emotional responses, right? So a perfect example is all of the sexual signals we get when a woman is attracted to us. Some men say they can smell it almost, but you notice the dilation of the pupils and everything. That was actually a biological evolutionary signal back in the day. You knew that it was a strong mating possibility over there. So a lot of these things have kind of
still
carried
get consent,
over.
fellas. But go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of those signals have carried over and kind of moved past their original purpose for that reason, though.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was an interesting kickback fact. Our high and low of the week, JB. What was your high? What was your low?
Yeah, my personal high of the week was, honestly, I just had a really, really productive week at work. I got a lot of shit done. I got a lot of personal things accomplished as well. Got back into my music a little bit more. I'm playing another instrument now. So
ukulele.
Yeah. So that was always fun. This week got to enjoy that. My personal low this week, we're actually going to talk about a little later, new, and we had touched on it when we did our exclusive Patreon episode.
Yeah.
And so, I'll preserve that for later, but the debate was my personal low of this week.
Okay. My high of the week, I want to say I got a little more organized in my approach, and realized that I counted up, I thought it was 7, but it's really 6 streams of income right now. And now I just need that last string of income But to realize that the merch line is doing well, the Patreon is doing well, job is doing well, a couple things I got going on outside of those things are going well. That was my high of the week, and I'm adding music back to my repertoire. Talking to my nigga BJ back home, like nigga, get this shit together, nigga. You knew the man, nigga. And let's give him one more Jones, one more sign off for you right on the sunset. This, and it just kind of made me feel more like me again. I was like, damn, I'm so used to being like I no breaks, knowing all that shit. But most time I be at work, so I'd be like, I'm now the insurance guy. You know what I'm saying? And then kind of be like, nigga, you a whole legend, nigga. Like, what the fuck? And so kind of getting back into that mode, and that made me feel good. Made me feel good about myself and shit. My low of the week, I didn't have a low. I'll just say, how should I say this? Everybody wasn't as nice to me this week as they could be. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. That's my high low, JB. So let's go into my left stroke just went viral. And something JB has been dying to talk about, the goddamn debates. Now we got to talk about the debates. We're going to talk about Trump and Arona. But JB, let's focus on the debates right now. What a shit show.
Yeah. Everyone, I mean, newscaster after news anchor after newscaster after news anchor literally said that, and they bleeped them out. I'm not kidding, y'all. What a shit show. This was a shit show. People repeatedly kept saying it. Cory Booker said it when who's the guy? Steve Colbert interviewed him. Trevor Noah said it. Seth Meyers said it. The chick from CNN said it. And it wasn't a debate. It was what we knew the debate would descend to if you allowed an idiot who didn't care about the debating process at all to take control of the debate. That's what happened. The same way everything else that Donald Trump has taken control of has been a shit show. It was a shit show because of him, pretty much.
It was ridiculous. He interrupting Joe Biden, interrupting the moderator, throwing fits in the middle of the whole shit. It was crazy. I never seen anything like that. It didn't look presidential. It didn't feel presidential. And I watched Joe Biden do his best to not feed into it. But at one point, he was like, would you just shut up, man? Like, God damn. Like, we trying to have a damn debate here. And I was like, oh, shit. Pissed off Uncle Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. We will get into a Saturday Night Live spoof of it. But I want to speak to some very specific things.
Mm-hmm.
We named this episode Stand Back and Stand By.
Yes.
Because that's what he's Donald Trump dog whistling to the Proud Boys when they asked him to denounce racism or white supremacy, and he wouldn't do it. I'm going to be honest. I don't personally feel like Donald Trump is the most racist person to ever live. I think he's racist, just like I think Joe Biden is racist. But as I've said before, Lyndon B. Johnson was racist too. And he did, the Civil Rights Act, and arguably more for our people than anybody else. And he hated black people. Abraham Lincoln didn't free us, we weren't slaves, didn't free black people in slavery because he loved us. He did it to save the Union.
Yeah.
But I don't care if you're racist, if you're going to do what it takes. And I'm holding these grapes, the grapes of wrath. These cotton candy grapes, by the way.
Yeah,
they're delicious. Jamie, how you some?
Yeah, I'm gonna reach in here and grab a couple.
I froze them. They cold as shit.
Yeah,
I put them in the freezer because everybody told me you got to eat them out of the freezer. So they're not quite frozen, but they're cold as a motherfucker.
They're delicious, but they are cold as a motherfucker.
You don't eat your tooth. You're like, oh, well.
Yeah, these 40-year-old teeth, nigga.
Make your goosebumps come up.
Whoa.
Thank you being attacked.
That was brisk and refreshing.
Oh, that's brisk, baby. Remember them brisk commercials?
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah.
That's brisk, baby.
Brisk, baby.
Well, Mr. T and them Jones too.
Yeah, everybody. In them Jones. Everybody.
We showing our age now. We showing our age.
Yeah, we are the little claymation Jones. But yeah, you're right, New. it was not a debate. Joe did his best to try and keep it somewhat civil. The moderator did his best to
Let's
try and
get back
keep
to
it.
stand back, stand
Oh
by.
yeah, sorry, you're right. You're right. Stand back, stand by. Thank you. I had
Um,
lost the train on the
yeah, because the
grapes and
grapes.
shit.
I'm with you. I'm with you. But
Yeah, go back to
him
that.
dog whistling
Yeah.
the Proud Boys and other white supremacists, refusing to, because you can do like a white supremacy is wrong, wink your eye, and they're still with you. You can, if that's your base, you can say some shit and let them know I'm just saying this because we on TV. He like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not. This. No, I'm not. I'll tell them stand back, but stand by. I'll be calling for you soon. That's how I took that. If I tell the motherfucker, no, I gotta stand back, but stand by. Like the kickbackers, and the motherfuckers coming at me, I'll be like, hey, kickbackers, stand back and stand by. You know what it remind me of? Doing some funny shit. A Dave Chappelle comedy skit where he's talking about, I like to say funny slang to fuck up my corporate white friends. So my lawyer called me like, hey, Dave, how's it going? And like, everything is great. All right, Dave, great. I'll talk to you tomorrow. He'd be like, great, Skip. Stand back and stand by. But what he said in his comedy act, he was like, zip it in and zip it out. He said, I love my white friends because they be like, what the fuck does that mean? And then he was like, oh, yeah, Dave, zippity doo out to you too.
Yeah, hey, zippity doo dah. Alrighty then. Bye bye. Yeah, that shit was hilarious. Donald
Yeah.
Trump was not hilarious though.
Not at all.
And it pissed me off because it that wasn't really a dog whistle. That was more like a dog megaphone. And
Yeah.
Biden kind of subtly pointed it out. He was like, all right, man, like really, like the dog whistling nigga, like really. And that's almost literally what Joe Biden said.
Yeah.
But what I wanted him to say at that moment was, whoa, stop everything. Stop everything. What the fuck was that? What was that? Because we asked you to denounce, you know, white supremacists, and you gave them military orders. That's what I heard. You know, like what? Tell me what the fuck you just said. Like that would have been a good time, in my opinion, for Joe to step out there and be like, "Hold up, nigga! Like, hold the fuck up! Like, the fuck was that?"
That's why, in the middle of the shit show and the embarrassing things that Donald Trump did during that debate, I felt that Joe didn't do well enough because he let a lot of shit slide. That being the biggest thing. He called him a clown. He asked him to shut up. I enjoyed that because that shit funny. But he didn't shut him down. And it's like, I know when you're in the middle of the debate, it's hard to think of everything. So I don't want to hold him to he had to be perfect. But he missed that. That was a blunder. He missed that. He should have definitely spoken on that. And when they did the Saturday Night Live sketch as we transitioned, they had Jim Carrey playing Joe Biden, did an amazing job, and Alec Baldwin playing Donald Trump, as he always does a great job. And then they had goddamn, what's her name, playing Kamala Harris. Fuck,
it wasn't Maya Rudolph.
Yes,
was it?
Maya Rudolph. Yeah, she from Big Mouth. I'm going through changes. Maya Rudolph, shout out to you, sis.
Yeah, also Idiocracy, one of my favorite movies of all time. But
shit, yeah.
Yeah.
You had me watch that shit. Yeah. I watched that shit. I heard of it, never watched it. JB had me watch that crazy shit. But the Saturday Night Live was great. We'll get into that later. But I think what I learned from this debate is we need to have more debates so I can figure out what the fuck going on. But I also learned that we may not be having more debates, presidential debates, because Trump has the coronavirus, the Chinese virus, the fake virus. He has it. His wife has it. Several White House aides have it. And excuse me, just wild, JB.
Yeah, this is one of those, you know, horrible moments of irony that I don't give a fuck about Trump, but I do give a fuck about the fact that now the president of the United States is deathly potentially deathly ill. They're saying that he's at Walter Reed now, and he's looking to be coming out of Walter Reed soon. His breathing percentages, meaning the amount of oxygen he's getting with each breath, you said it was somewhere around the 80s right now.
94. It didn't dip below 94.
Okay.
If it had dipped into the 80s, they would have, had a more concern.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still early.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying let's, give it a couple more days
Mm-hmm.
and see if it does happen to do that or not.
Yeah, I mean, the man is 74 years old. He is not
Yeah.
a healthy individual, looking at his frame and his physique and his eating habits. So, I don't wish that on anybody, including him. But I do have to say, kind of like, we told you so, nigga. Like we told
Dr.
you about
Fauci told you so.
Yeah, like we told you about this dumb shit, and now here you are.
That's like that. The 5 hobby zone. We done told you about this drinking and drug shit before. We left you alone, thinking you would change.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all seen the 5 hobbies, I know what line that is.
Yeah, I mean, and real nigga shit. Like, I know it's not nice, but I think the Democrats need to get his ass for it. Because that was part of what happened on the debate. Like, that was literally one of the questions. Like, you've taken 2 different approaches to your political campaign. One of y'all has been safe, and the other of y'all has not.
And they're saying that he may have contracted it at the White House launch ceremony for the new nomination of the new Supreme Court justice. And everybody, it's a meme going. Remember Game of Thrones when the old lady was like, "Tell Cersei I did it," right before when she took the poison and died. Like, just let Cersei know it was me. And they replaced the old lady's face with Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah, of course.
And let Trump know it was me. and it's just like, well, damn, it's like, I don't feel like everybody else. I'm not all sentimental. I'm not Christian. I'm not religious. I don't feel like, I can't say, hope he died. I say what the fuck I want. I'm not going to say that because I don't hope anybody dies. I don't think I ever felt that way by anybody, for real. But fuck him. It's still fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't done anything to earn my sympathy. He hasn't done anything to garner my my love. You know what I'm saying? My appreciation, my prayer, my positive thoughts. Fuck that nigga.
Yeah. Excuse me. We got a lot of nice comments here. Number one, there's an update. Yeah. What's that? You want to hit this one?
No. It just said hidden.
Oh, okay. So he has left.
Okay, Jay said he's left Walter Reed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got our kickback and correspondence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say I'm happy or disappointed. I'm just, it is what it is.
I think it's still a political tool for the Democratic Party to use, and I think that they should use it. I don't think that it would be in poor taste for them to do so at all, because this is what you get for doing like dumb shit. This is what you get for lying to the people and lying to yourself. Like, this is exactly what it means.
Herman Cain has already died.
Yeah, right. And I think we need to say that, like, people need to say that shit. Like,
well, we gonna say it.
Yeah. Well,
Herman Cain has already died.
Right.
Donald Trump contracted the virus after having multiple rallies with no mask.
Mm-hmm.
They walk around. You see the videos on Facebook and YouTube, Twitter, where they go around without their mask on and trying to force their way into Walmart, want to fight people because don't tell me I have to wear a mask. And it's like, Slim, like, you gotta relax. Mm-hmm. Like, and I do understand that wearing a mask every day does not protect you from everything. I know that. And I know that I wear a mask and I wear the face visor, and I can still get it. And a person who never wears a mask might not get it. I understand that. But it's like, you still take the steps to protect yourself and to protect other people. And sadly, when we wear a mask, it's for the other person's protection. I wear a mask so I don't infect you. I know the mask ain't really protecting me, but if I can protect you, then I've done my job. And when I look at a lot of y'all people that's mad about the mask, I'm like, you only care about you.
Yeah.
Like, you don't wear the mask to protect yourself. You wear the mask to protect everybody else in case you have it. I'm like, you selfish fucking bitch. Like, Fuck wrong with you? And why are you so angry? I will not protect other people. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Yeah, yeah, it's just dumb. It's a minor inconvenience that can make so much a difference. It's like these idiot motherfuckers who choose to drive around without seatbelts on. It's you're not cool for doing that. Like
Yeah.
you're
No,
not
no, no,
like
no, no,
the
no,
hip
no, no. It's
rebel.
way worse than that.
I'm saying both of them are stupid in
It's
my
like it's
opinion.
like
It's a lot
I would call
worse.
them
You're
like
right.
drunk drivers or something like that.
Well, it's
Like,
a lot
yeah,
worse. You're right. You're right. But it's just like
just
it doesn't make you cool at all.
at all.
Like at all. And it's really bad. And now we're seeing why everybody should have a mask on. Real
Do
talk.
you think? And I think now we all kind of think it's true. When you first heard it, did you think it was just him doing some political shit
Oh, you
or
mean
some
him not
like
wearing
him
a
lying? No,
mask?
no,
Yeah.
no. Him being tested positive. Did you think it was a lie? Like the
No,
shit he was lying about? A
no.
lot of people, like most people, thought it was a political ploy because he lied so much. They were like, "This is another Trump lie." Like the internet was 100% convinced this is another Trump lie to get sympathy, to get out of debates, or to get out of having to do whatever. And like I remember I watched me and Justin talk about it, and Justin said he thought it was real, and Smee said he thought it was fake. So like people were discussing this, like, do you think it's real? And at first I was like, I don't know what to think, but I'm it's well within the realm of possibility that he's just saying this shit. Maybe he'll take the vaccine and miraculously heal and then try to shove the vaccine down our throat. I was like, that's very plausible considering his character and what he's done. But that didn't cross your mind at all.
No. Well, I mean, number one, technically, vaccines don't cure individuals who are already ill. Technically, vaccines are inoculations, not cures. So he wouldn't be able to use that. And honestly, I see the political blowback from him catching COVID-19 as being a more negative than a positive, even if he comes through healthy for some strange reason.
I don't
Again,
see it that way because if it comes to healthy, the nigga saying, I told you guys not to worry. You didn't need masks. You didn't need this. Look at me. I made it through. Everything is fine. It doesn't kill everybody. I've been telling you that forever. It's not that big a deal. Let's go forward.
yeah, I mean that
I
he
think that
could.
works.
Well, I think that if in the absence of the Democratic Party saying anything, I think anything that he does works. I
But
think that
and you know they're not gonna
well,
say nothing.
well,
But we're
and
talking about him talking to his party. They
well,
already believe that it's a fake virus. So if he says I caught it and I'm fine, what does that do to his party?
yeah,
If they already, no, I'm asking you, what does it do to them if they already think it's fake?
I don't think it does anything different because I think that again,
You don't
those
think it,
people.
it solidifies their views? It validates their
I
opinions?
don't think that they need that validation to
Yeah,
solidify those views.
that's
Yes it does,
okay.
but
Thank you.
I don't think that that is I don't think that that gains him any points that he
I think it
already doesn't
absolutely does, and I'll tell you
have.
why. Because if he dies, he loses points. So their whole rhetoric is based on what happens to him now. Because if he dies, then everything they say is bullshit. It's out the window. If he gets very ill, then it's like, fuck, we didn't take it serious. This shit can't fuck you up. If he comes back perfect, then it's like, we told y'all dumbass motherfuckers back in the day it wasn't real. It changes the scope. If he bounces back from this in good health, not great, not back to normal, just good enough to live and to be able to be president. Then they can all say, we told y'all stupid motherfuckers that y'all stupid for wearing masks. It don't even hurt you. He's 73.
Yeah, I he is the best medical some of the best medical care on the planet. Most people don't.
Yeah, but
I
we talking
let
about
me
their
finish.
yeah.
Let me finish. Like I hear all that, but I honestly think that, even if he were to stay with corona and get really sick and die, I think that those people would still be voting for the vice president in the election,
Oh, that
honestly.
wasn't a debate.
Oh,
that wasn't the nature of the
okay.
conversation.
So in my opinion, him catching the coronavirus right now gives the Democrats again an opportunity to really catch the people who were swinging one way or another, because this man has lied about COVID. This man has lied about the severity of COVID. This man has lied about the risks of catching it, and now he has it, and now he's in the hospital,
But
and
the
the
issue,
Democrats need to use that.
but the issue, it won't work if he bounces back. Those swing voters you're talking about, if he gets it and bounces back and they're on the line and he goes, I told y'all it was no big deal, then they're gonna be looking at Biden like, wait a minute, motherfucker. You had us all scared in the house and shit. And this old ass nigga got it, he ain't die. You know what the fuck you talking about? He was right.
Yeah, then I mean, then it's a lost cause then, and it doesn't matter because he's likely to survive given the amount of medical care that he's going to have accessible
That's
to
my
them.
point.
Yeah, I just don't see it having as great an impact as you do. I on the swing voters. That is where
I
we
think
differ.
people that are afraid of Rona, like me, but aren't me, but are feeble-minded and are Republicans and are Proud Boys, but are a little considering defecting, if you will, they're gonna look at that shit and be like, he's 73, he fat, he a fat fuck, and he survived it. Uh, I'm not listening to them Democrats. I'm not listening to a partner in Kickback. I'm voting for him. They're going to do it. They want to do it, but they ain't gonna do it if he die, because that brings another level of awareness. Him getting it isn't the moment; it's how he responds to it. That's the moment. Trump getting corona isn't like the Democrats can use this now to their advantage. No, they can't. That ain't the kicker. It ain't about what happens to you. It's about how you deal with it. It ain't about him getting it. Anybody can get it by chance. We all know that. The issue is how severe is it? The severity of it. And if he dies, then we know it's pretty fucking severe. And if he lives, then we know it's not that severe. That's the defining moment. From where I sit, that's how I view it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand again if you're looking at it from the context of a Republican. I can understand it if you're looking at it from the context of a moderate Republican, someone who swings to the right or whatever. There are certain people, however, who also swing to the left. And in today's country, there are more people swinging to the left than there are to the right, which is why the Republicans are so scared of voting right now. And that's why I think that this issue, if used properly, can swing more voters to our side than to their side.
I think that's 100% wrong. It can't. How can it swing people to our side if he lives and comes out well? Who? Why would you go to that side? He lived. He wasn't affected by it. My argument is that if he has a healthy response, they're not going to swing. What will make you swing that side if he comes out of it fine? What would make you go, I don't know who to trust over this corona thing? Oh, Trump got it and he lived, and they telling me we could die, and I should wear a mask. Why would you swing to the Democrat side?
Yeah,
That is nonsensical to me.
I mean, I look at it a little differently because like I see it as a much lower chance that Donald Trump would die from this thing. I don't think that was ever really even something that was up for grabs, right? I think it was how quickly would he recover. Honestly, I never saw him potentially dying from this when he got it, and I honestly thought that he was going to get it before now. I mean, the prime minister of the UK got it. Other leaders of other countries have gotten it to this point. I thought that, and I still think that this will be something that can be used as a wake up call for swinging Democrats, and I think that there are more swinging Democrats than there are Republicans right now.
I disagree with
That's
all of
fair.
that, but
That's fair.
okay. Um, where y'all at, kickbackers? Because I think if Trump survives, the Proud Boys and all of them gonna be more energized than ever, and it's gonna energize their
Jeremy
base.
said we both are right.
he always trying to be the damn diplomat. Tired of you, Jeremy.
He's a better moderator than Chris Wallace is.
Right.
Because he's like, you're both right, gentlemen. Let's move on to my next question. Very good, very good,
Jeremy from Germany.
Indeed.
So, our what the fuck story of the week. One of JB's ex-girlfriends.
Nah. No.
Sound like one of mine though.
Yeah, I was about to say no.
This woman upset, believing that her boyfriend is cheating on her. Gets her girlfriend to drive her to her boyfriend's mother's house. She texts her boyfriend and says, I want to, I forget the exact verbiage, but I'm outside your.
How does it feel?
I'm outside your mom's house. How does your mother feel about being burned alive? And then the house catches fire, and his mother is burned alive,
and
along with two nephews.
Mm-hmm.
She's denying it, saying she only went there to throw a rock into the window. Can't buy it. Donald Trump can't buy it. You sent the threat and then the action happened. And I got to go by that. And this is not new behavior. This is what I call toxic femininity. I've been seeing it a lot lately, but I've been seeing it for years, decades. And I've seen men do this crazy shit too. So I'm not excusing men. We've seen probably more examples of men doing it than women.
Yeah.
But we've seen women doing it too. And this shit is the worst. Like, because you think somebody's cheating on you, you killed their mother and two babies? You crazy bitch. Like, what? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, this is just low class all the way around. What the fuck does his family have to do with a situation between you and that nigga? Like, what made you think it was okay to play this kind of dirty pool to go this low? One of the things that I don't know about the situation with women in prison, but niggas who do this kind of Bama shit, like, they get fucked up in prison. Like, this shit is not this shit is not cool. Like, you do this kind of shit and then your ass winds up in jail, and then the niggas in jail are like, you did what, nigga? Like, you did that bitch shit? Like, all right. Like, come on, man. I don't know if the kind of thing like that happens in women's jail, but I honestly hope it does. Like, she deserves to get fucked up. Like, this is fucked up.
She deserves to die. And that's a fucked up thing to say, whether it's be electric shit, whatever. Like, this was premeditated evilness. This wasn't, I accidentally did this, or this was premeditated murder. She thought about it. She thought about killing them, then killed them. That's ain't a lot more to it. She thought about it, sent a threat, then killed them.
Yeah. Thought about it, went over there.
Yeah. Thought about it, went over there, sent out the threat, then acted out the threat.
Ain't no way around that.
Rest in peace.
Indeed.
To his mom and his two nephews, and positive energy and prayers to his family, shit to her family. But for you, young lady, I have no remorse. I have no feelings. Like,
certainly no positive energy.
Yeah, no positive energy. I cannot condone or understand or be sensitive to this crazy psycho shit. You killed this man's mother and two of his nephews. Like, my mother died when I was 11. But I couldn't imagine someone killing my mother. Like, my God, man.
Over suspected cheating.
Yeah.
So no,
whatever happened to break up with a nigga?
We ain't got no facts yet. We just, that's a tough one.
That's our what the fuck story of the week.
That is what the fuck.
What Jeremy over there talking about?
Yeah, he back on Trump.
Okay. Our Don't Be Dumb award goes to JB's fellow flat earther, Kyrie Irving. You know, him and JB came up with the theory that the earth was flat.
Really, nigga? Really, nigga? Really, nigga? You know
I-
that's against like everything that I am. Like, I saw those comments and I was like, there's something wrong with this dude. Like, I know about going down anyway, YouTube rabbit holes, whatever, but that one, I don't even understand how, like,
yeah. But we're not even gonna talk about that.
yeah,
dumb
yeah,
shit. He
yeah,
did some more dumb shit.
Yeah, really dumb shit.
Kevin Durant, his teammate, has a podcast called Etc. And on the ETC Etc. podcast, his first guest was Kyrie Irving, and they were talking about, just NBA life, basketball, etc. And the moderator asked him, how's it feel to, be teammates with Kevin Durant, blah blah blah. And he goes on to say that this is I've always felt like I was the most clutch shooter on my team. If it's 10 seconds on the clock, the ball goes to me. And it's always been that way. I've always felt that way my entire career. I have no issue with that. Then he goes on to say, now when I look down at the other end of the court, I'm going to be thinking that motherfucker can make that shot too. I've never felt that way before. And it's like, well, LeBron James has more game winners in the playoffs than any player in the history of the NBA. There was times when LeBron was not clutch. But now LeBron has been a pretty clutch player. So for him to say that, it was just kind of like, what's good with you, nigga? Like that's some wild shit that you on it like that. And you've been taking shots at LeBron for damn near years now. Mm-hmm. And it's like, get off his dick, dog.
Yeah.
Like Kendrick Perkins said, you jealous. You probably had on in the first round a Dame Lillard jersey rooting against LeBron. Then in the second round, had a James Harden jersey rooting against LeBron. Then a Jamal Murray jersey rooting against LeBron. And now you probably got a Jimmy Butler jersey on rooting against LeBron. Kyrie, you get our Donald Don't Be Dumb award. Not Donald. We're not saying his name no more.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah,
and
shut up, stupid. How about that? Add that to it.
There it is. And niggas, like, you're not that smart. Just remember that. Like, you're not that smart. When you say slick shit like that, everybody catches it. Like,
right.
like you're not smarter than everybody else. Remember, nigga, you're the one who thought the earth was flat. You need to take saying slick undercurrent shit out of your repertoire, because that's never going to work for you. And niggas, if you fall victim to one of these ridiculous YouTube conspiracy video sets and you start believing that the earth is flat or that COVID is, something that was cooked up in China intentionally, or, any one of these other ridiculous myths, then you probably shouldn't say slick shit.
Probably. How about that? How about that? Kyrie, you gonna stop talking about LeBron? LeBron James is a Mount Rushmore player. LeBron James leads the fucking finals in like points, steals, assists, rebounds, like third and 3-point shooting, lead the playoffs, all these categories. LeBron, I made this up this week, JB, and when I was at work talking to homeboy J. Lou, and I was like, Michael Jordan is the best player I've ever seen. I think Kobe Bryant might be the second best player I've ever seen. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has the greatest overall in basketball career, including high school, college, and the pros. No one has had a better basketball career. But LeBron James has the best NBA career as far as individual achievement. He's going to have all the records.
Yeah.
Now he's going to be 4-6 in the finals. Maybe before he retires, he can make it 6-6. But 4 MVPs, been in the finals 60% of his career. The domination, the coming out as a rookie, the esteem that's been given to him, the clutch moments, the block shot, the way he's ripping through the playoffs this year in the Western Conference. When everybody said LeBron's scared of the West, he'll never go to the West, and then he went to the West, and all he's doing is dominated. We're 5-5-5 in the Western Conference playoffs. Gentlemen sweep himself all the way through against James Harden and Russell Westbrook, against Damian Lillard, who everybody said that's not a regular AC in Portland. They're going to beat the Lakers, and against the Denver Nuggets, who came back against everybody but the Lakers. Put some respect on Bron name. Like I'm not here to say he's the best player ever, but he's in my top 4. And I've yet to determine what number he is. I think as of right now, he's 3. He might be 2 at the end of this shit. I don't know if he can get to 1. I got Jordan 1. It's gonna be hard to beat Jordan. But as far as career, I like his career. I like what he's done individually, career wise, probably more than Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, this is just one of those shady, stupid fucking things that, and everybody knows. Yeah, I mean, you're just not slick enough to get away with this kind of shit. And honestly, it should have never been said. It's just
just leave it alone.
Yeah, like just shut the fuck up. Simply put.
JB, going to our Nipsey.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, you like that one? You like that one?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He's at either MIT or Georgia Tech or both, depending on what the future holds for him. A brilliant, brilliant, brilliant young man. Shout out to his mom also, who has a master's degree in education.
Okay,
and
mom.
I think that let's give his family the credit too for his brilliance, because we want our children to be able to stand on the shoulders of giants, but in order to have them do so, we have to get that big ourselves, right?
Yep.
So shout out to moms for making these opportunities possible for this young man. Shout out to this young man. I'm going to say his name again. Y'all look him up. He's local. He's in Georgia. Caleb Anderson, a 12-year-old prodigy, young black man moving on to great things, and we're so proud of him.
So proud. You get the Nipsey Hussle Award, and that's the greatest honor that we can give you
right
on the podcast. That is our top honor. Other recipients, we'll go right into Mark Cuban, Dallas Mavericks owner. What's that TV show where you present your ideas and they buy shit from you? Shark Tank. Shark Tank TV star. He a former player of his, Delonte West, who only played 1 season. We've all seen the memes and the videos of him poor on the street, people beating him and videotaping it, him holding up signs, asking for money. Everyone's tried to reach out to him, and to their credit, I mean, they've tried. They just haven't been successful. So I'm not shitting on anybody else. I'm just saying, for whatever reason, Mark Cuban was successful. And he went to a gas station to pick him up himself and put him into therapy himself, and is covering all the costs. And Mark Cuban doesn't strike me as the type to do it for publicity, because he kind of doesn't need it. He got one of the most exciting players in the NBA that's white. So he's kind of like cashing in, and he's a fucking billionaire 4 times over. I do think he did it from the kindness of his heart.
I agree.
Him paying for it is one thing. Him going personally there to have that conversation is another thing. And Mark Cuban, you get our Nipsey Hussle. Anything you want to add to that, JB?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a man who really opened up at least opened up his heart this time. I can't talk about what he's done in the past, but I can talk about this. I can talk about him checking in with Delonte's friends to try and find him. When they found out his location, he got in the car himself and drove out there to meet with him. And then once he met with him, he got him checked into a hotel to get him off the street, and then made arrangements for him to go and get treatment. He also contacted Delonte's family, whoever they are, to let them know that he found Delonte. So all good things. You can't say enough about, someone doing such a benevolent and wonderful thing that we should all do and help out our brothers and sisters who are in need, who are struggling with addiction.
Yeah, Delonte from the DMV, man. Shout out to Delonte. We love you. We rooting for you, and we just, we just want what's best for you. This reminds me of a post I saw that I retweeted yesterday, JB, because it touched me, and I want to read it on the air. And it's by Tony. It's Tony Stark, but it's spelled toe and knee. I think it's by toe and knee. But the post says, "Dear addicts who feel the need to remind everyone on Facebook that they've been clean in another few days, keep that shit up. You can post every day, and I'm fucking here for it. Live your best life, boo boo. Lots of us are happy, for you and love seeing you make it another day. It doesn't matter if I grew up with you, or if you're just a random Facebook entity, or a kickbacker. I support and encourage you making it another day, no matter if it's one or a billion. And that's how I feel about this Delonte West shit. Like, we riding with you, we supporting you. Fuck that shit. You see how white people are now so loving and sensitive with the opiate thing? Oh, they need help. We need to love them. They didn't do that with crackheads, right? It was our fault. It was just say no, right? But now the white kids are strung out in the suburbs. We need to talk to them. We need to love on them. You should have been loving on our people that was going through the bullshit y'all created for us. But now that we're here and everybody loves everybody for the most part, shout out to our brothers and sisters who are dealing with addiction. And I wish you the best. And I hope you have friends and family that will ride with you, or you're strong enough to ride for yourself and get yourself to a better position. I'm rooting for you. JB rooting for you. And all the kickbackers are rooting for you off the no bullshit.
Goddamn right.
And Jay-Z and Meek rooting for you. JB, let them know what the guys are doing, what the kings are doing. Jay-Z and Meek Mill, One Time Reform Alliance.
Yeah.
California.
So the Reform Alliance, again, founded by Jay-Z and Meek Mill. This is their political activist organization that works with two kind of co-mission statements. One is to enact prison reform, in America, to make it so that so many of our men are not overly incarcerated and disenfranchised by the system. What that means is that they are working to get people out of jail who have been unjustly imprisoned, and they are working to get people out of jail who are serving overlong sentences, but also they are working with legislation. Okay. And so in California, now they have enacted different probation laws, more, let's say, more sensitive probation laws, and it is due to the direct action of Jay-Z and Meek Mill's Reform Alliance. Shout out to them for making power moves and doing what we say needs to be done, which is affecting change in the courtroom and in the state house. Shout out to them.
Beautiful. And the governor of California, Goldsman, I believe, he signed the 1950B Act. I think it is. Sorry if I got that wrong. JB the Gangster Geek, I don't know all these numbers. But which will reduce certain sentences, probation sentences, and that's great. Meek Mill was on probation for like 20 years for a gun.
Yeah,
it's like ridiculous. And when you're on probation as a person who's, we've been on probation, any little thing they be like, oh, and it's like, whoa, I ain't do shit, nigga. I had some Waffle House. You gotta relax. But probation is some bullshit. I would choose jail over probation. I would choose, a month of jail over a year probation. Like, dead ass.
Probation can be fucked. Yeah, I mean, and it depends on your probation situation. Those of you who have been on probation and it's been relatively light, you got to know how blessed you are, because for most people, probation isn't light. For most people, probation is a drug test every month, every fucking time you show up.
Oh, you can have bi-weekly.
They
can make you report twice a month.
Well, they can make you report as often as they fucking want. I was just about to say, because all of those drug tests and shit are all discretionary. It's up to the probation officer to decide how much you get tested and how much you don't get tested, how much you report, how much you don't report. And we're talking about over years, right? So imagine if you're trying to start a business or you're trying to do something somewhere else and you need to travel for work or whatever. You can't do that because you're on probation. You literally can't do that. Some probations don't allow you to leave the state,
Yep.
actually.
Yep.
You need permission from your probation officer to leave the state. It can be fucked up, really fucked up. So these changes are that important for that reason. Because if you think about how many black people are in prison, imagine how many black people are on probation right now.
Shout out to California. Shout out to Meek and Hove, Mark Cuban, and Vance. I forgot Vance's last name, but Vance from CNN.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's the CEO of the Reform Alliance. Shout out to you too, big homie. Um, our Netflix and chill. The series finale of the 100. I don't know if y'all are watching the 100. You should be watching this on CW. We talked about this show before. It's about 100 people who were in prison that were sent to back to Earth. Earth was all fucked up, so they were all on a spacecraft living in space in the world, and they were sent to Earth to see if Earth was safe to come back to. There was 100 of them, and they had trials and tribulations, running into different people from different worlds, running into different people that were still left on Earth that had been attacked by the mutation, which is why everybody left, because it was some solar reactor that fucked everybody up. And it was just about their journey. And then they left Earth and went to different planets to try to find a home on every planet, because a few planets were destroyed, that everybody kind of uh, gathered on these few planets, and it caused war, because who's going to lead, who's going to do this. It's a love story mixed in. It's war, it's violence, it's knowledge, it's spirituality. It was a great fucking show. And the series finale was this past week, and they got it right, JB.
Really?
I didn't know
Okay.
if Power got it right. I didn't know if Game of Thrones got it right.
Well, I know Game of Thrones didn't
I
get it
didn't
right.
think Sopranos got it right.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of shit. I'm like, why they fuck up the last episode?
Mm-hmm.
But I think they got it right.
That's what's up. That's
And
what's up. I think I'm about halfway through the entire series, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I got some catching up to do new on 100. But I'm glad they got the ending right. I'm definitely going to jump back into that one. I'm watching Lovecraft Country, a new
mhm.
episode. I believe it's dropping tonight, and
Yeah,
then
I'm going to go ahead and
catch up.
get, yeah, because when I watch it on Fire Stick, my Fire Stick been acting a donkey. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to have to go and get the HBO Max app, which I don't want. I got a billion apps, but I love that show, and I missed like the last 3 episodes. So I'm just pissed.
Yeah, I hear that. The Boys is starting to pick up steam too.
Hey, I went back and watched the last episode, and I
Hey,
watched a couple more. I'm not all the way caught up,
okay,
but it makes sense now.
good.
So I'm finally like, oh, okay. Now I see. I did that last night.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, that show is definitely picking up steam now. They're starting to interlace history and yeah, yeah. It's becoming more allegorical. Let me just put it that way.
Okay.
So it's a good show. Keep watching, y'all.
Yeah. Saturday Night Live last night. We
Mm-hmm.
alluded to it earlier. Chris Rock hosted it. Megan Thee Stallion performed, and they did a spoof on the presidential debate. Like we
Mm-hmm.
said, Jim
Mm-hmm.
Carrey played Joe Biden, and Alec Baldwin played Donald Trump, and Maya Rudolph, of course, played Kamala Harris. And they played on all the little debate things, and it was funny as hell. They talked about Trump having coronavirus. That was funny as hell. If you get the opportunity to go to YouTube, or if you DVR'd it or whatever, definitely watch that. That shit was funny. It's a good hour of your life. It's a good hour spent.
I gotta check that out tonight. I mean, I couldn't watch it live, obviously, because I'm having the same Fire Stick bullshit you are, except for I do actually have the HBO app, so I'm not quite as lost. But yeah, I'm gonna now that it's available on YouTube, I'm definitely gonna check that out because
Yeah.
I mean, the little clips we saw earlier today were funny as shit. So I know the rest of
Hell
it is
yeah.
gonna be like, oh
Hell yeah.
shit.
And one time for Megan Thee Stallion, she had some political statements in the middle of her ratchetness. So she was on stage twerking, performed to the song Ratchet, but she quoted Tamika Mallory, pro-black woman activist out right now. She had Malcolm X's voice playing, talking about the most unprotected person in the world is a black woman. And she talked about Daniel Cameron, the DA in Kentucky, overseeing the Breonna Taylor case. And she talked about protecting black women. And I loved it all. And because I'm righteous and ratchet. So I like the twerking and I love my people. That works for me. It wasn't an oxymoron. It wasn't weird. I kind of want to date Meg now. Like it was that much for me. Like she righteous and ratchet. I'm gonna have to get her a t-shirt, JB. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't mind you sending her a t-shirt. I wouldn't
You
mind
know
her
what? You know
wearing
what?
it.
You know what? I'm gonna send her a t-shirt. I'm gonna
I
send
think
it. I'm
you
gonna send
should.
it. We're just gonna see what she do with it.
I think you should.
But I also like the fact that she said protect black men. And I was like, oh shit. And it let me know because I was talking to my sister last night. And I was like, nobody ever says that. And she was like, that's bullshit. I always say it. I was like, well, you say it. Some of y'all sisters say it. It ain't no majority. I don't feel protected by black women. And that's not a shot. That's not like me shitting on y'all. But the same way y'all don't feel protected by us and you say it, and then we step up to the plate to try to do better, I don't feel protected by black women. I know plenty of black women who would much rather destroy me than help me. That's a fact. And you know what I'm saying? And so I don't feel protected. And to hear her say that, we got to protect black men too. I was like, oh shit. Because she's she's in this feminist music. She's fuck niggas, get money, eat my pussy and fuck you. I ain't gonna call you. That's her music. And for her to be like, nah, fuck that, protect black men too. Fuck you talking about? They're my brothers. And I was just like, oh shit. Somebody said protect black. Like it just hit me different. Because if you go on Black Lives Matter site, it don't mention straight black men. We like not on the site for some reason. They said we defend gay, trans, lesbian, female, but they never say straight black men. It's like they like fuck straight black men, and it really it touched me. I'm just being honest. I hope I didn't offend nobody, but I'm just being honest. It touched me that she mentioned that.
Well, let's be clear about this. Political statements are not religious statements, right? They're just not. And she was making a very, very important political statement about what needs to happen. You can do that in any context, you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, that message doesn't need to come with lift every voice and sing, in my opinion, in order to be valid or to be truthful or to be impactful. I loved it. I loved the whole performance. I thought she could have moved a little more, honestly. I wanted to see some more ass shaking. But I also love what she said. I also love the way she dressed up the stage. I thought
Yeah,
it was
man.
extremely powerful, new, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. I'm gonna go back and try and see the whole thing. We only saw bits and pieces of
Yeah.
it earlier. I want to see the whole thing, see all of it,
Let's do
all of
that.
her.
Yeah. Shout out to Meg. Gemini Man. Have you seen it yet?
Mm-mm,
Will
mm-mm.
Smith. When it's the older Will Smith and the younger Will Smith, the younger Will Smith is all CGI. Nigga. Critics said it was it was a bullshit movie. That shit fucking fire.
Really?
It's on Hulu.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen the ads for it, but I didn't.
Man,
I
that
saw
shit
the
was
reviews. So
yeah, I did the same. I did the same thing.
mm-hmm.
Nigga. I mean, is it an all-time great movie? No. Is it a great movie? Yes.
Really? Okay.
The young Will Smith and the old Will Smith and everything else. I was just like, Slim, like I kept watching. I'm like, this shit was bad, but they said it was bad, but they said it was bad. They said it was bad,
Yeah.
nigga. And I don't think this is ruined. You know they're going at each other at some point. The young Will Smith beat the shit out of the big Will Smith with a motorcycle. I'm not going to explain how, but imagine a motherfucker on a motorcycle beating your ass with the motorcycle. It was fucking phenomenal. It was one of the Matrix fight scenes. It was like I was thinking like, it was like Slim. This is some creative shit. This some creative shit. And because the younger Will Smith is all CGI, he can do everything.
Phasmatastical shit. Yeah.
Nigga.
Yeah.
Some of the stunts in the
I gotta check that out. I gotta check
it's
that
up
out.
your alley. It's up your alley.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it. I'm looking for. I might watch that shit tonight, man.
Yeah, man. Our book club, we're gonna talk about it next week. We're running out of time, and we don't want to go into too much. But I'll give you a quick story. The book is A Slight Edge. It's by Jeff Olson. It's one of those motivational books, self-help books. Get off your ass and do something books. We went from fantasy, now we're back on the self-help. And he told a story in the book about the gyroscope that's on the space shuttles. And I've told a story in the podcast before, or done the illustration. I'm gonna do it again because this is where I got it from. This book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, and he talks about taking off from Earth, going to Mars, and going to the moon, and how the space shuttle is off course 99% of the time. So let's say JB is the moon, and I'm the space shuttle going to the moon. It's going like this: too far to the left, too far to the right, too far low, too far high, come back to the left. But then you eventually get there through constant course correction. Constant course correction. And that's what life is about. Yeah, you may go too far to the left sometimes. My Dick Kirby, it go to the left too far sometimes. Okay, that's neither here nor there. But sometimes you might, do too much at this job. Sometimes you might slack too much off at that job. Sometimes you might not pay enough attention to your woman. Sometimes you might pay too much attention to your woman. Like, it's all about constant course correction. You don't have to have it figured out. You can still get to JB, the moon, from the earth, even though you're constantly correcting your course. As long as you're constantly working on yourself and constantly fixing yourself and constantly adding on positively to yourself, you will get to your ultimate destination. Now, that's one story in the book, about one page. That's about a page and a half of the book. When I tell you this is the most immediately impactful book I've ever read, that's what I mean. The 4 Agreements was very impactful very quickly as well, because it's 4 agreements you make with yourself and you act it out. Very impactful. Nothing was more impactful than A Slight Edge. The Slight Edge sets you on a course immediately. That one story. Tell me it didn't resonate with you. Did it resonate with you, JB?
Absolutely. Now this book, if I recall correctly, I'm gonna have to actually pick this one up at a store and physically read it than an audio book.
Yo, you can read it on your phone. Well, but I don't like doing that.
Yeah,
I'm going to go buy the actual book.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy the fucking book.
I'm going to Barnes and Nobles tomorrow. Yeah, if you want to meet me up there, let me know. I'll be there about 12:30.
Yeah, I'm hitting Barnes and Nobles tomorrow too, so I can read up and get started on it, John. It sounds interesting. As we said before, the self-help books are outside of my normal lane, like the fantasy books are outside of yours. But this has opened up, some different tools and some different knowledge for me. I'm looking forward to the read, man.
Me too. I've read this book a dozen times. I don't have a copy because I always give the copy I get to someone that I think needs it, because I think it's that important. As I say, this is, if you're on a journey of discovery and you're looking for the first book to read as far as improving yourself, getting to that next level, taking the bull by the horns, being your best self, I always say The Slight Edge is book 1. And then go wherever you go after that. Because The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson will get you the tools you need to understand the other books. It's not just a book they read to hype you up. It's going to give you tools that you can take to the next book. So it's not just a regular book. It's not just, I read this book, but I didn't do anything. The Slight Edge is designed to help you get the most, maximize everything. And I'm curious to see what you think about it, and if it impacts you the way it did me. And if it doesn't, that's cool too. but I am curious to know.
Yeah, I'll give you honest thoughts, as we work through it, as we work through it in the month of October, you'll get regular updates from us and my thoughts and news as well. Like we always do with our book club. It's one of my favorite parts of the show, New, because I
Yeah.
think we get to share a lot more kind of who we are with the kickbackers by our book
Hmm.
choices.
My
Uh,
next book will be Playboy magazine, but we'll worry about that later. But go ahead. What we saying?
like I said. So yeah, we'll check that out, and we'll give you our thoughts on the first couple of chapters, and then on our next episode. Oh, by the way, kickbackers, I'm actually headed to DC next
Hmm.
weekend
Hmm.
to see the folks, so things are going to be a little different next weekend. We're not going to broadcast on Sunday for Monday like we always do. It's going to be a little earlier, but we'll still be
Hmm.
right here with you.
You know it.
hmm hmm
Um, music, our eargasm segment. Really quickly, 21 Savage dropped the album. It was probably my favorite album that came out this week.
mm
Based on first couple
hmm
listens.
hmm
West Side Gun from Griselda, JB cousin,
Yeah, I
dropped
love
a
them
new album.
niggas. I
And
love them. I ain't mad at that one either.
it's Griselda, man. And like, what
Yeah.
you gonna do? It's West Side Gun's first major label debut as a solo artist,
hmm
and he got some heavy hitters on there with
Okay.
him, and he
Okay.
got some bangers, man. So I would definitely recommend that. YG, who I was really looking forward to, um, off first listen, and maybe it'll grow on me, but off first listen, I ain't like it. I
Really?
was listening like, what the fuck is
Mm.
this?
What was
And
wrong with it?
I only listened to it once, so I don't want to give it too harsh a review.
First
But
impression.
first impression, everything.
Damn.
I ain't like it.
Damn.
I love the single "Laugh Now, Cry Later." Not only that, I didn't like the single. The single is still on our partner and kickback playlist.
Well, that's
It's
why
been
I'm
on it for
surprised.
like 3-4 months.
Well, that's why I'm surprised to hear you say that the album
Right,
was.
but the album,
Yeah. Mm,
I'm
that's
gonna give
tough.
it another try because I fuck with YG,
hmm
so I owe him another listen. But in R&B, the guy who invented the term trap soul singing over gangster beats. I think you were doing that a little bit too, JB, before him. But we'll let him have it. Bryson Tiller put out a pretty damn good album.
Okay.
His single with Drake is on our playlist, and
hmm
I think I like it, y'all. Like I loved his first album. I did not quite get his second album. I like his third album.
Okay.
First
Okay.
listen. So I think you guys should definitely check that out. And
That's
if
what's
you
up.
don't have time to, get the Pod Name Kickback
That's
playlist
the way I
on
do it.
Apple Music, Spotify, and then you can just listen to the singles and decide if you want the whole album.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do because he drops that shit on there every week. It's new music on there every week. It's easy to stay
Yep.
caught up. I just throw it on when I'm out there playing disc golf, new, and then I'm
Hmm.
hip. I know what's going on with the new music. I'm not a nigga who's gonna listen to a whole bunch of whole albums like you are,
Yeah.
but I can fuck with that playlist and get caught up on what's popping. It's really that simple, straight like that on
Nope.
Apple Music. So check that out, man.
Absolutely. Before we get up out of here really quickly, JB, in sports, the
hmm
Lakers versus the Heat come on tonight. The
Yes.
Lakers are up 2-1 or
hmm
2-0, and the Heat got multiple injuries. I don't know who's returning tonight. If anybody's returning, the series is over.
Yeah.
The only thing to be decided is who's going to be the MVP, LeBron or AD. And I think right now it's leaning towards AD, but LeBron is having a phantasmal series as well. I want to ask you a question, JB. LeBron has 3 finals wins, 3 final MVPs with 9 trips. If it's 4 final wins out of 10 trips and 4 finals MVPs, does that get him closer to Jordan?
It does. One of the things that's going to be distinct about LeBron's career versus Jordan's is his level of kind of ascendancy, even in the twilight years of his career, even in the late years of his career. And we don't necessarily know that these are his twilight years yet.
Yeah.
The way he's playing right now, he might go for another 4, 5, 6 years. He's what, 37 now or somewhere in
He'll
there?
be 36 when next season starts.
Yeah, I mean, it's niggas who's played in the NBA until they were like 42, 43 years
Yeah,
old.
and they were all serious role players. LeBron was second in MVP voting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's nowhere near a role player. So
Exactly.
I think he got 2-3 years before he becomes a role player.
Well, I mean, but then he's got that again. The twilight, in my opinion, is when he becomes a role player. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
6'9" in the new NBA. He could be 40 playing center.
Yeah,
He could
yeah,
just go all the way to center and then got to do a whole lot of shit and be a starter at 41, 42 at
yeah,
center.
and take a team to the fucking finals.
Nigga.
like, yeah, we don't know we don't know how great this man is going
Yeah.
to be.
This some Tom
Yeah.
Brady shit. We've never seen this before.
Yeah, I mean, he came out in high school, and I was like, we gonna see this nigga for like the next 25 years. Like, he's a man child in high school. Nobody's gonna break him up, like they broke up Kobe early in his career.
Yeah.
That's not gonna
Yeah.
happen to him. Like, he good. Like, he ain't going nowhere.
He's 17.
Yeah. So that question, I think the answer is yes, and I think the answer will continue to be yes as his career progresses
Okay.
into the later years.
If he wins a championship, but AD gets Finals MVP, does that hurt him?
In my opinion, no, because I think those are numbers that you have to look at when somebody's career is ended and assess those numbers. Right now, I think his greatness is all about his groundswell and his impact on the game, and you cannot deny that AD is in contention for that MVP status because King James is dropping dimes on that nigga.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, when you look at, the last year, I think Kareem won the MVP or whatever. He had Magic passing him the ball. Like,
Mhm.
fuck you mean? Like,
Mhm.
so that didn't make Magic any less great, that's what happens. And I think that's going to be a great thing. I think that, I can only see, good things in their future. They stay healthy, man. That team could stay together another 4 to 5 years as it's constructed right now. And then we will always see them in the playoffs, always see them, creeping up on the finals,
One word. No, not one word. Like it or dislike it. Doc Rivers is now the head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers with Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, who could never seem to get it together. No coach could figure out how to play them, but two of the best players in the league. Now he has control of that. Like it or don't like it.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it. Excited to see what he does. He's a great manager as a coach. He deals with personnel extremely well as a coach. And I think that's what they need at the 76ers right now. So I love it.
My Cowboys lost in grand fashion, going down by 20-something points, coming all the way back, and then still losing it at the end. Dak Prescott is the first quarterback in the history of the NFL to have 3 straight games with over 450 passing yards each game. And we lost 2 of those 3. And we've been giving niggas 40 points a game.
Yeah, the story is in your secondary, Noon. I can't say it no differently.
I'm gonna tell you, if Dak didn't fumble in the first quarter and Zeke didn't fumble in the first quarter and give up 2 easy touchdowns off those fumbles, our secondary trash. Shout out to Trayvon Diggs. You're not trash. You're a rookie from Alabama. You're playing better than I thought you could. So not you, bro. Our secondary is trash.
Yeah, Odell Beckham had like the greatest game of the season for himself today, and that speaks volumes. It also speaks volumes that Nick Chubb had a horrible day today, which means
he was injured.
Well,
so
he got hurt.
Else,
he got hurt.
He was having an amazing night.
Okay.
So he got hurt.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Everybody, no, they ran for like 280 yards.
I didn't realize that. No,
they ran all over us.
Really?
But he was hurt.
Nah, I'm surprised by that.
He was hurt, so everybody else ran all over us.
I'm really surprised.
Odell Beckham, the touchdown to take the game out of, we cut the lead to 3. Their first play was a trick play where Odell ran. He ran 80 yards for a touchdown. Odell, the wide receiver, ran out of the backfield 80 yards for a touchdown.
I'm very surprised by that. Do y'all have
Yeah,
injuries on your front seven right now?
we
I don't
do.
understand.
We
Okay.
do.
I was like, that's
Yeah,
this does not
yeah,
compute
yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. Leighton Vander Esch is out for the season. Yeah, we got
Okay,
now we
that's the
got some tough
problem.
injuries, but no excuses, JB. We look, nigga. We were down by 20 something points for the third straight game and came all the way back, and then lost it at the end.
You have one of the most explosive offenses in the league, but it doesn't do you any good if your defense can't get critical
No,
stops.
well, yes, but it doesn't do us any good if we fumble on the 5 yard line and give you the ball and you only got 5 yards to go.
Oh
And
yeah,
then we
well,
fumble
yeah.
again on like the 20 yard line and give you the ball back again. You take away those two turnovers, we can outscore you. So it don't matter how bad our defense is. If Dak and Zeke don't turn the ball over every game this season, literally every game this season, literally all in the first quarter, well, except for the late interception he threw today. All the other turnovers are in the first quarter.
That's tough.
If you start off your first
Yeah.
3 drives is all turnovers on your side of the field, and you give them a 21-point lead,
Well,
it
I
don't matter
mean,
how good the secondary is.
yeah, you said a mouthful there because, a wonderful secondary and an incredible offensive line and an incredible front seven on defense cannot overcome all of those turnovers. That's a lot for any team to overcome. And
Dog.
turnovers, yeah, holding on to the goddamn football always has to be the priority for a football team. Like, period. Hold on to the fucking football. Like, yeah, so yeah, I agree with you completely because fuck what I just said. If you turn the ball over, you're going to lose. Like there's no way, I'm changing my mind because like turnovers like that is nothing you can do about that. The rest of it, is kind of irrelevant
We were up
without the
14
turnovers.
7, and Dak got a strip sack on and he ran back to like the 4 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was 14-14.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zeke fumbled, and they scored again. So it was 21-14. We
Mm-hmm.
were on the verge of being up 21-7. Instead, we're down 21-14.
Mm-hmm.
And then they scored again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the offense, of course, comes magically to life in the fourth quarter. We scored like 20 points in like 4 minutes in the fourth quarter. It was amazing. And then Odell ran an 80-yard sweep for a touchdown, and then they kicked the extra point. We blocked it. Then they recovered it and ran it back in for 2 points. JB, help me! Help me! What the fuck? Young! Young!
I don't know if I could have watched that fucking game if I was you.
I started watching it, was talking on the phone, texting the group chat.
Oh
And
Lord!
looked up, and I was cooking chicken. I know you smell the chicken in here. And the chicken they told me to cook and said it wasn't bad, but it tasted funny. And I didn't die yet, but if I die from this chicken, kickbackers,
You said it
that's on
tasted
y'all.
funny.
And I was like, it's a little different. Little different. And then they were like, you just being paranoid. And I was like, oh, that's probably true.
I hope it's true.
You know how you know how to be paranoid.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
well, maybe I'm paranoid. But I also didn't have all my seasoning, so
That's why it tasted funny.
I had to use some other shit out the cabinet.
Okay, that's why it tasted funny.
That might be why. But
I
I was
was
still like, I'm gonna give you a piece. You tell me,
no, I'm good.
you tell me if it's poison or not.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm sitting over here like describe funny.
I'm gonna give you a piece. You taste it, and then you tell me. Tell kickbackers. So, last but not least, we getting up out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. We love you. But our fantasy football league we've been talking about all since we started. A couple kickbackers are actually on the fantasy football league for a partner in kickback. I was projected to beat the crap out of JB. JB came back, and it was like Slim. You knew you were gonna win by 20. No, JB's gonna win by 30. No, you can win by 15. No, JB's gonna win by 10. No, you can win by 1.
And then Nick Chubb got hurt.
The our game was based on Cleveland Dallas game.
Yeah.
Dallas had better stats, but Cleveland won the game. And how that works in fantasy football is I eked out a victory because of Dak 500 yards,
Yeah,
4 touchdowns.
absolutely.
It helped me eke it out, even though you had Odell, you had Chubb, and Landry. And then I have Dak, Amari Cooper, and Zeke.
Yeah,
and
I'm not sure if did I start
Schultz.
Landry this week. I didn't think I started Landry this.
Wait. Okay, I'm wrong. Yeah, you saw the Landry.
Oh, I did. Okay, good.
Yeah. It was Nick Chubb that got hurt.
Might have been one of my fuck ups.
I think that if Nick Chubb, the way y'all ran, if Nick Chubb wouldn't have got injured, those yards would have been his.
Yeah.
And you might have won.
Yeah. I mean, but this is like the first time. This is the first time this season that this team has even broke 150. So no, they barely broke 150 once before. So it's just been fucked up all the way around for me. Thielen had a good game for me too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've been saying it for the jump. It's Drew Brees.
Yeah, I keep trying to get rid of him. I can't find nobody. I can't find nobody to replace him. Hey, I have a glut of wide receivers. Those of y'all in our kickback league, I got wide receivers. So if you got a decent quarterback and you need a wide receiver, come talk to me. Might be able to make a trade.
Yeah, I got Dak. I don't even have a backup quarterback just yet. I was like, maybe I'll trade you. But that puts me, JB was my biggest competition in the podcast league. But me beating him this week, that puts me at 4-0 and knocks him down to, I was 3-0, you were 2-1. But now that put me at 4-0, you were 2-2.
Yeah.
And I think I created some distance.
Yeah, you definitely created some space. And I gotta do something with these fucking teams because they keep underperforming for me week after week. I gotta figure some shit out. In the other zone, I'm about to get my ass kicked again. I'm sick of this shit.
In F League,
some changes.
I've already scored more points than EJ F Suns is projected to get, and I still got players playing. So I'm projected to beat him by like 30 points. But in my cousin league, I'm projected to win. No, look at that shit. He's projected to beat me by a point, some points. 136.63 to 136.92.
God damn.
I am
really
hoping
tight.
he doesn't get it. Oh no, he got Julio Jones. And I'm gonna lose. He got Julio Jones and Tyreek Hill left.
Ooh.
And I have nobody left. And they think Julio Jones and Tyreek Hill will only get him 30 points. They're gonna get more than 30. I'm gonna lose.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. But I'll be 4-0, 3-1, and 2-2.
Not too bad. Not too bad
in all
at all.
Leagues.
Not too bad at all. I'll be 2-2, and I guess what would that be 1-3 or some shit like that. That Clay league is killing me right now.
Yeah, that was my worst league until today.
Yeah,
it shit just flipped. But we want to thank y'all for tuning in, listening to our bullshit.
Indeed.
We love to keep you guys entertained. Once again, you being here all night. Our Patreon, we have 3 tiers. A tier where it's just support, $2 a month. $4 a month gives you bonus episodes, behind the scenes. Yeah, Kickers is $2 a tier. Backers is $4. You get bonus material, a bonus episode, behind the scenes footage, and the Kickbackers. I did it weird that time.
Yeah,
that tier.
little horse.
Yeah. That tier gets you behind the scenes. Everything you get in the first 2 tiers, but we buy you a gift. You get merch. And then everybody gets a discount. Well, the backers and the kickbackers, you get the discount code 20% off of all merchandise. And if you get that $7 a month tier, guess what? We're going to buy you something.
Indeed.
As long as you keep your membership for about 6 months, we're going to buy you something. You hear me? So thank y'all for tuning in. I guess it's back to the NFL or back to whatever TV show you're binging. The game tonight sucks, so I'm going to go back to watching the boys.
Indeed.
Actually, I'm going to get the motherfucking HBO Max so I can watch Lovecraft Country. And it's probably a good time to get Stars because the new season of Power is on break till Christmas. So I can get that, the free trial.
Right.
And watch all like ready. 4 or 5 episodes and then cancel it. And then get it back again in December. it'd be good to go.
This Negro.
I ain't paying y'all all this money. Fuck y'all.
I hear that. Well, good night and God bless y'all. Thank you for tuning in.
Uno. We out.